be here though, so I'm gonna let her out, okay? You sure you don't want to stay with us, Lou? Maybe you do. Maybe you do, Lou. Okay, here we are. Another day of teaching yoga from my home. I'm starting just to, hey Allison, starting to find humor in all this. Anybody else, like, when you kind of get worn out by things, you get a little delirious? You can actually check on me because I'm wearing pattern and I never wear pattern. But never say never, right? I'm cold and I don't feel like wearing a sweater. So, let me see. I don't know if Lulu will stay, but I'll invite her to stay. Sometimes she likes to sit on her blanket. I might be letting her out. Okay, so here we are. I have been doing a lot of astrological readings for people, and it's been a grand experience that I'm deeply grateful for. So if you've allowed me to look at your chart and share with you a gift of you, I thank you. Thank you very much. I'm not sure how much more room I have. The year is coming to a close. I am going to post this on Facebook. I might teach next Tuesday, and then that's it. Peace out. I'll do something at the end of the year, but I'm going to give myself a break. I will give us daily things and things to contemplate, but I'm really going to use the time for myself. So, that being said, if you've tried to go to YouTube to get this, I'm struggling with YouTube. I haven't had enough time to sit and figure it out, but I'm struggling with YouTube. At first, Facebook wasn't letting me record the videos, and then now I can't even get into my YouTube app. Everything's updated and everything, so whatever. I'm here. I'm here on Facebook, and you guys are here too. And Mary, you get to be here live. That is exciting. And Barry, you're here. I am totally scrolling. And Allison's here. If you're here, say hello if you have requests. It's really just this heart of the earth, okay? I'm going to borrow from something I just heard. And we have this energy of, we're earthlings, right? If I've done a reading for you, then you know I start it with this recognition of we all live on planet Earth. That Earth facilitates our ability to have an experience. And as Earth facilitates this ability to have an experience, that's a commonality of all things in this reality, in this dimension. And so if we can then pull out to a bigger perspective, well, then the Earth is part of another system. It's part of the solar system. It's we all dance around, speaking of planets, a big ball of fire, right? The sacred sun that we really need to adore. It's powerful, it's wild. And I can still hear Will Smith in one of his things saying, and it's not our friend, right? It's violent, it's fierce, it's intense. So, but we all circle around this flame of light, of sustenance, of opportunity, of a chance to live and to be alive, to have this experience here on planet Earth with the unique energy of who we are. And so when we go to then from that big part, that Earth is part of something else, and how is that influencing? I mean, we got a whole bunch of energy in one part of the sky right now. And then it's all gonna spread out again, and then it'll pop into another part of the sky. And so the moment you were born, it was this chance for you to have this connection to this experience of life. And so we get to move into a daily connection and a daily ritual of coming like to the heart of Earth, So all of us people, the billions of us that are on this planet and all the animals, we're all the same. We're all the same. And when we can kind of look at that now, yes, totally, knock me down. We're not all the same. There are so many people, oh, Denise, your hips are tight. Hey, Lana. We're not all the same, right? Like my hips are feeling good today. Denise's hips are tight. So our experience is unique. However, if we can kind of, my hope, and where I'm speaking from right now, is that we can use our practices, that we can use these abilities to connect to our spirit, to our light, to our flame. The heart is associated with the sun. And if we can connect to that life that pulses and beats inside of us and recognize that we all have this opportunity, then we can be more compassionate with one another and maybe even more compassionate with the earth, because she's kind of responsible for our ability to be here. You know, and this, I'm just going to say this one last thing and then we're going to move. We're going to start seated if you want to go ahead and sit. I heard this one thing, this might be big, but it's been something that I've always felt since I was a little girl. But it's kind of this idea of, you know, I do believe in Jesus. I do believe he walked the earth, and I do believe he taught love, unconditional, universal love. He was a Pisces, but maybe he was an Aquarian, right? So in that energy of all of this, he was not a Capricorn, by the way. So that right there is interesting, right? So in all of this, though, there's all this talk of the man, of father, but mother, because the little comment that might trip you up a little bit. So just take it not in jest, but receive it from an openness, especially because I know so many of you all watching this are women. I get the occasional dude, and shout out to you guys, thank you. But Jesus, my kid said this, okay, here's how I'll spin it. My mom gave him a manger, and I grew up when you have the little creche sitting out. The baby Jesus isn't in the creche until Christmas. He's not there. So my kids are like, where's baby Jesus? And my daughter goes, in his mom's belly. Yeah, where's baby Jesus? In the womb of the female. And so, and if you go further than that, there was no man involved. God and woman created Christ. So, heart of the earth. Get into the heart of your earthly existence today. Invoke your spirit. Invoke your fire. And no, I would have never said any of that unless I was sitting in the comfort of my home speaking online. But there's this connection that we need to value. And that is the core of our essence and our energy, that it is part of something bigger and we're all in it together. So if we can use our practices to center us into the strength of our essence, imagine what we can do for mankind, for our planet, for the next 800 years, for this new leap we're going to take collectively. And even if you don't know what I'm talking about, you know, somebody said to me today, I'm ready to pack up 2020 and be done with it. I'm like, we're never done with 2020. 2020 has been imprinted into each and every cell on this planet. So to try to wrap it up and pack it away isn't going to do any good. We've got to integrate it, and that's what the next couple of years are. So let's integrate now. Come into, I said seated, but come into child's pose. We'll just ground all of that. Yes, I get winded. I even got my feedback, which I appreciate feedback. I love feedback. I don't get it very often. From the person that's been mentoring me with astrology. And she's like, wow, you're amazing with words. You get a little floaty sometimes, don't you? Yeah, I do. So let's go to child's pose. I'm doing yoga with socks on and plaid. It's going to be interesting, but why not? So child's pose, settle into the earth. As I record this, the moon is in Virgo. Virgo, let's just use that for a second. Virgo is this energy of our daily life. It is the ritual of our existence. And then the sun is in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the archetype of the beliefs, of the optimism, of our potential, of that great joy. So settle into the joy of being a child. And as you're breathing and settling, connect. Connect to your core, connect to the highest, bring down a divine ray of love and protection, draw a circle around yourself, your home, this community, this ability to connect with one another in this new way. And you're going to inhale, you're just going to lift your head, stretch your hands out, and just as you stretch your hands out, you spread through your fingertips, here you are, child's pose. Honor what you've been living in the land that you've been grounded in. And then 3 big breaths right into your heart. And this kind of, you can play with this expression, but my hips are all the way back like child's pose, but my upper body and arms are like downward dog. I'm breathing right into the heart center. Breathing life into this physical entity that is allowing you to know this experience you have. And you hold authority. You're in charge of you. How you move your body and how you choose to engage is yours. Inhale, come all the way up onto your hands and knees. Tuck your toes, move all the way back. Downward dog, 3 breaths here. You can pedal or you can be nice and steady. And just be intentional as you climb into this container of you, connecting into the core, the heart of the earth. And offer that gratitude to be alive, to be able to witness the experience of all that is awakening inside of you. Denise, this is for the hips. We'll go to pigeon pose first. Right knee to the right wrist. Come all the way back down to earth. Palms up. Be receptive. Be open. Soften the area in the shoulders. Feel the newness of this moment, right? That you're getting out of your head and into your heart. Feel the muscles starting to hold into the bones. Ignite the core. You're going to tuck your left toes under. We're going to go into a forearm plank. Inch the left knee in. So plug into you, shoulders to your back, back knee lifts. Come into that forearm plank. Anchor into the energy of you. Breathe into that fire and that flame and that connection to it all. And then exhale your knees to the earth. Move all the way back, child's pose, palms up, hands together, or your hands can be here. Or they can go to your feet, go to the spot that serves you. And then stretch your arms out, spread through your fingers. Feel the room to be able to breathe, how you're kind of invoking the warmth and the heat and the discipline of your essence to cut through the film that's inhibiting the movement of life to dance with you. So pushing your hands to the earth, getting the undersides of the arms to wake up. What we're doing is we're actually just kind of creating alignment and asking the muscles to come alive. Lift into your core. And then inhale up onto your hands and knees. Tuck the toes. Pull back, downward dog. Three breaths here. Make sure the belly is working, that the ribs are hugging in, that the shoulders are drawing in. And then left knee. All the way to pigeon, all the way down to the earth. Honor your experience. The chances are, if we know each other and you're tuned into this on some level, you've had a privilege of being exposed to different ways of experiencing life. And that's not anything to be ashamed of, but really a moment to honor the courage of your heart. But now what do you want to do with that offering? What do you want to do, and how do you want to use that energy for the highest good? How do you want to give that light back out into the world? How can you use this connection to being a sweet little yogini and really doing the work off the mat? Of integrating it into the cells of your being. Inch the right knee in. Tuck the toes, back knee legs. Pull in. And then forearm dog again. 3 breaths here. Lots of connection. I know my shirt's not really the yoga appropriate shirt, but who cares? And just feeling all that's coming alive in you, all that's waking up. Knees to the earth, move all the way back, child's pose, and then just rest with it. And from that steadiness, we're going to invoke more. Stretch the arms out. Come up onto your hands and knees. Move it all the way back. Downward dog. 3 breaths just to feel and move. If you were moving before, be steady. If you were steady, give yourself a little room to wiggle. So I'm actually just tilting my pelvis and lengthening out from side to side, keeping my upper body and moving a lot from the core. My core is ready to wake up. Walk the feet forward and then bow. And we want that energy to be healthy. I'm taking my socks off. That's exciting, right? And as you're there, inhale, lengthen the spine, open the heart. Exhale, bow down. Inhale, lengthen, rise all the way up. Arms sweep up overhead. Feel the length through the spine. And then exhale, bend your knees, thighs pull back. You're going to pull into the center, bend the right knee, shoulders to your back. Yeah, we're going to dancer pose. Pull the thighs together. Think of it more of a thigh stretch. Foot's going to kick back, knees kicking forward, heart's lifting, chest is open. Big full breath in and a big full breath out. And then from this connection, bend the knee, pull into the center, feel that connection to your center line. Shift out into warrior 3, hug into the midline, waking up that outside line of your left leg. And then we're going to step back, right heel grounds, pivot, arms go wide. Big full breath in, turn your feet out, arms overhead, pull into that center and then bend your knees. 3 breaths here. And just this yogic squat. Wrapping the outer hips towards your tail, shoulders to your back. Connecting deeply to that potency of you. And then exhale the hands to the earth. Pivot around to the front. Hands to the ground. You're going to go downward dog. Left leg to the sky. Bend both knees. Open the hips up. And then inhale, step the left foot through to a lunge. Straighten the front leg just to feel the strength and the connection. shift on your mat if you need to. So I'm on the ball of the left foot, knees are bent, sit deep, lift the chest up, left arm underneath the right. Big inhale in, big exhale out, and then rise up, both feet to the ground. Inhale the arms high, feet to the earth, and exhale, knees bend. You're gonna pull that energy into your center, bend the left knee, hold on. You can do what you want to with the right arm. Pull into that center, shoulders to the back. So you're getting a little thigh stretch first. So make sure you're pulling into that core, knees kicking forward slightly, shoulders are to your back, and then bow, free the leg all the way into warrior three. Hamstrings are waking up, glutes are waking up. We're creating a little heat. Maybe we're even falling over. Big, gracious breath in. And then a gracious breath out. Foot goes down, hands go down. Forward facing dog. No, I knew I did something wrong. Pivot. This time when you pivot though, fold all the way forward. Sorry, you guys. Fold all the way forward. I totally start thinking about my husband calling me right before I talk. Sorry. Folding over. Bow into it. Now feel the pouring forward, the connection of hugging into that center, but let the area in the shoulders soften. Let the heart soften. Let your arms go where they need to go. Value every breath, every move. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Pivot around to the front. Now, downward dog. Right leg to the sky. Bend both knees. Really strong into that core. And then inhale, square it off. You're going to step it all the way back through to a lunge. Shift the weight forward. Sorry. Just get a clearing through the leg. Then shift it forward. Bend both knees. So this is a fancy little shuffle. Your knees bend, your legs cross. Bring the left foot under, and then you're going to sit into the left leg, pulling in, right elbow underneath, into eagle pose. And just feel that dance. We're earthly beings. We're going to fall. You know, shout out to gravity. Inhale, come all the way up. Unravel the legs, unravel the arms. Full breath in, and then exhale, hinge at the hips, fold all the way over, bow into it. Inhale, lengthen the spine and step back, downward dog. As you climb into your dog, inhale, plank. Knees high or low, all the way to the earth, and then inhale, cobra or, back bend of your choosing. Lift through the core, tuck the toes, move back, downward dog. Inhale, the right leg to the sky. Exhale, step the right foot through to a lunge. Warrior one, shorten the stance, root the heel, pull into that strength. And then as you come here, draw the shoulders to the back, bring the arms out in front of you. You can do eagle arms, or bring the elbows together and wrists together. Pull the core, the waistline, the sides of the belly, the ribs back, arm bones back, and then lift the heart up and lunge a little deeper. Deep, full breath in, full breath out. You're gonna inhale, straighten the leg, quarter turn. Arms go overhead, turn the feet out, and exhale, bend the knees. 3 breaths here, feeling the potency of really sitting in that ability to take on, right? And to move, to take on the heart, to really live from the salve of your soul. That we're here to live and to be part of this grand experience. Straighten the legs, turn your right foot out, left foot in, lunge, stretch the arms wide. So now we're in warrior two. Just a grounded flame. Because I can get floaty, earth-based practices are really good for me. Exhale the hands to the earth. Downward dog. Inhale, plank. Pulling into that center. Knees high or low. all the way to the earth. Inhale, cobra. And then lift through the core, all the way back, downward dog. Left leg lifts, knees bend if you want to, opening the hip up if you want to. Really steady in the upper body. Step it through to a lunge, warrior one. Heel grounds down. Now get connected to the ground. And as you connect to the ground, draw into that strength. As you draw into that strength, hug the midline, pull into that center, and then elbows come up, wrists come together. And as you feel that connection unfolding, continue to draw into your own strength. Feel the lift, open the heart. Oh, this is so hard to do. I can feel it all in my back body. Inhale, straighten the legs, quarter turn. Both feet turn out. Arms overhead. Squat. Wide-legged squat. Durgasana, whatever you want to call it. Feel that connection into your center, strong to your core. Awaken, alive in the legs. Anchor that energy to the earth. Spin the left heel out. Turn the left toes out. Right heel spins out. Arms go wide. Drawing back, expanding that energy of your heart. That connection to your life. The connection to experiencing this life. And being present in the moment where you know it's enough. Breathing all the way in. And then exhale to the ground, downward dog. Inhale, plank, pull in. Exhale all the way to the earth. Inhale into that cobra or upward dog or gecko cobra. Move it back, downward dog. Inhale the right leg up. Bend both knees. This time keep your legs steady. Pull into that center. Feel that solid connection. And then step it all the way through to a lunge. Pivot the back heel. And then heel toe the back foot in. Shift the weight. So from the ground up, inhale, half moon pose. And as you're in half moon, if you felt stuck in your hip, then come down, go to warrior two, and then move from warrior two. Some people don't like the transitions from the earth because we get blocked. And as you feel that connection, allow for the opening of your heart. Not to do the balance with one hand or grab one foot, but feel the strong steadiness of your legs, awakening the energy of your core, and expanding the heart of you, the heart of your earthliness, of your beingness. And then exhale, step back. Downward dog, right leg goes to the sky. So that we start with the hips square. Now open the hip. Really powerful, potent, and strong. And then inhale, draw the knee to your heart. Pivot the back leg. Right foot's up by the left edge of your mat. Full breath in. Full breath out. And then exhale, the hand comes down. The back heel lifts. Right foot's going to go to the sky. Square hips again. Pull into that center. Find that length. Find that strength. So make sure you're hugging that right knee in. Get the inner thigh of your right leg to fire up so your outer hip has something to wrap into. And then step it through to a lunge. Strong into the legs. Power to the earth. Hug into that core. Inhale, rise up. I am warm. It's like this, by the way, my little office, when the doors close, is like the warmest room in the house. Aren't I lucky? Find that lunge. You could do it with your knee down, okay? Or find that lunge, pull into that volume, into that strength, and then we're gonna go into a revolve side angle. Left elbow, right knee. So instead of trying to go for a big cranky twist, bring the hips towards the center. Draw into the core, draw both shoulders into the back, and then expand the heart forward. Deep breath in. I'm falling all over the place. Deep breath out. And then exhale, hands to the earth. Move it back, downward dog. Enjoy your dog, or come forward through what it is that sometimes today just feels right for me. When this live recording comes to a close, the moon will be leaving the earth energy. So that ability to be solid and productive and our light is going to transition. And if you're with me live, if you're not, it's no big deal. Connect to that earthliness. If you don't feel productive, going to earth-based practices, where you just see the earth will ignite that productivity for you. Inhale, left leg lifts, bend the knees. Hips stay square, so notice how much that habit to open your hip is strong. Bend the knees, keep the hips square. Pull into that center. These little moves, just doing this, you guys, I can feel so much waking up in my body because of the way we began. We settled the energy. So if you're not feeling anything, it's because of the way you're engaging. Now, if you're sweating buckets, maybe you're making it too hard. Step the foot through to a lunge. That's funny, I lost my light. It's all good. Shorten the stance, ground the back heel. Lunge into the front knee, pull into that core. All right, and as we draw in, that's not what we did at all. Go all the way back down to the earth. Darn light. Pivot the back heel to the earth. And then you're going to heel toe the back foot in. And as you heel toe the back foot in, shift the weight forward, half moon. So a trick with this hip here is to bend the knee, pull, right there. So when you bend the knee and you pull the waist up, your leg's going to go straight. And what that's doing is giving you more space, and then you got to wrap the outer hip towards the tail. Okay, instead of trying to do some kind of fancy balance that looks cool on the outside, connect to that fierce strength internally, and then expand from the heart. And when you expand from the core of your being, you feel this connection to that bigger system that we're all a part of. And to me, the internal experience is more valuable than what it looks like on the outside. You may feel differently. Exhale, bend the knee. Foot comes to the earth. I don't even remember what we did. I'm totally blanking out. So we're going to pivot and turn. As you pivot and turn, so we're in that wide-legged forward bend now. Bow. Oh, I know what we did. Lean back, downward dog. Left leg goes to the sky. Bend the knee, open the hip up. Sorry to be confusing, but guess what? I'm human too. And then step it through. Pivot the heel. Ground into the earth. And inhale, rise up. This is not what we did at all, is it? So let's go here. Turn the foot in. Arms go overhead. Turn the feet out. Exhale into the grass squat, because y'all can't help me and I have no idea. But we'll get there, okay? Deep breath in. Deep breath out. We'll just go here. From that squat, hands to the earth, spin the heels out, fold forward. And if you are in the headstand club, I am not right now, go for it. Go for Shirshasana. Otherwise, just enjoy the wide-legged forward bend. You can send me telepathic messages. I know that we have to go to the high lunge and twist. I just don't remember what we did in between. Oh, now I remember. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Open the heart. Hey, we just wanted a wide-legged forward bend. If you went into headstand, come back to the earth. Spin around to the front. Lift up, back, downward dog. So whoever sent me the message, thank you, I got it. Loud and clear. Pull into the center, and the knee comes to your heart, foot comes up, across. Pivot the back heel, shoulders are to the back. So you want to get the thighs back, you want to wrap your outer hip towards your tail, and stretch the arm by your ear. Big deep breath in. Full breath out, hand comes to the earth. Woohoo, here we go, I found my way again. Thank you for your support. Step the foot through to a lunge. So we're gonna go into that high lunge. Connect into that strength. Draw in, rise up. I'm really wobbly. Pull into that center, connect to that core, and then revolved side angle. Feel lift, draw an opening through the heart, allow for an expansion from that heart center. Not to go for a really, really big twist, but to go for a radical expression of you, of knowing yourself, of becoming more of yourself. Then inhale through the center, hands to the earth. We found our way. Downward dog. Inhale, plank. Exhale, we're gonna go all the way to the earth and stay on the earth. So if you need to go slow to get that extra burn, you can find it. No reason not to create the burn. Go all the way to the earth, bend your knees. Connect to your breath. Let the weight come off your feet. I've had some weird things going on in my feet. And so in that, I'm just honoring, and as I'm moving, there's so much instability in my pelvis. But wildly, my hips are feeling good, my back feels good. Okay, so knees are bent. Keep the knees heavy, thighs heavy. Hug into that midline. Walk the hands back. Find the feet. Draw the shoulders to the back. Expand the heart. What I want you to do is kick out on the right foot and right hand. So you're still in the expression on the left side. You're just kicking more on the right side, pulling to the center, and expanding that whole right sideline. And then you're gonna kick, right? So when I just let go of my right foot, but you can't really see it. Kick into the left hand, hug into the midline, draw through the core, and then expand. And then you'll release, kick into both feet, hug into both, hug everything into the midline, and just feel that illumination from the inside. I'm burning up, so I'm gonna stop talking for the next 5 breaths. And as you exhale, melt all the way into the ground. Feel the most vulnerable part of you glued into the earth right now, and allow the heart of the earth to rise up and support you. Inhale, bring your gaze back to the center. Hands under your shoulders, cobra or upward dog. Rise up. And you're gonna lift up through your core. Come onto your hands and knees, and then just sweep. If you want downward dog, go for it. Otherwise, just sweep your legs out. Stretch the legs out in front of you. Bring the right ankle to the left thigh. Where I want to go, I don't believe my body's gonna allow me. So, right ankle on your left thigh. Draw your hands and shoulders into your back, and just feel the lift in your heart, the lift through the crown. Enjoy your breath. If you want to go into that full, like I know, there's no way. Agni Stambhasana, where you stack both shin bones, it's all yours. It's just not mine. So I'm going to come back here. Like I said, I've had things going on in my feet, so I'm being really, 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 really tuned into my knees and my hips. Personally, I'm in a strong articulation within myself and my own values and my own priorities of what I'm allowing closure of and what I'm allowing to carry with me and where I am headed. So I'm really using this time personally to be even more intentional and in tune with the pulse of my physical being. If you're in the double pigeon or Agni Stambhasana, and if you're like, I didn't know what you were saying, sorry, you're gonna rise up, and then we're gonna release, stretch the left leg out, right knee's bent, and then just come into a gentle twist. A full breath in, and a full breath out. And then inhale, come all the way back to the center. It's gonna be a little interesting. You're gonna come down, right foot goes to the ground, left foot goes into the sky, 3 circles, but I want you to feel both hips on the ground. So if you keep both parts of your hips on the ground, then you can't make big circles, right? Because you're just in momentum. You're in actually a passive relationship with the energy that you're stirring up around you. I want you to be intentional and feel that core. 3 circles. And then here's what we're going to do. We're going to be mindful of your neck, please, and shoulders. You're going to hold on to the right knee. Okay, I'm going to go behind my leg, and you're just going to kick so you come up with ease. Stretch the right leg out, bend the left knee, hands go back behind you. And here we are on the other side. Fancy, right? Not really. Breathing. If you want to do that double pigeon, go for it. Like, see? I'm going to use myself as an example. I've been doing yoga since 1996. A really long time. And that light not being on is really bothering me, so I'm going to fix it. You can go into the full thing. I'll just use my story. And in that energy of 1996, that's a lot of my life. That means I've been in a yoga practice for 20 years and, you know, I've been alive for 44, so I think I've done yoga more than I didn't, and I was a ballet dancer before. So I'm in a respectable relationship with my body because I know how quickly all of this can but I'm not afraid of it. Does that make sense? But rather, I'm in a relationship of honor and not trying to push, but willing to do it differently. So I'm not going to do some of the poses that I used to do all the time. Stretch the left leg out. If you were folded over, come up. Stretch the right leg out. Just a simple twist, just to clear out. And notice if you're letting yourself settle into the ground, like with too much ease, you're just kind of plopped down and twisted, or are you too up in the heavens, up in the clouds. And then inhale, come back to the center. So here's this little funny move, okay? I want you to use, like hold on to your leg, use that strength. So you bring yourself down, your right leg goes up, your left foot comes to the ground. Both hips are grounded, and you don't let, right, you're not rocking from side to side. The hip points aren't moving. 3 circles. You're gonna feel how much your hip flexor, your psoas, maybe that's why I don't say hip flexor, it's my twang comes out. How much is being asked to work. So that's gonna just ask that you pull into your core more. Maybe pull the core, the spine towards the ground more so you feel more stability. All right, once those circles are done, it's just a little clearing out. Pick up the left knee, hold on to like how you like. So what you're doing is you're gonna kick in, right? Because we're not just momentum. You're kicking in, so when you come up, you come up. Stretch both legs out. Rock from hip to hip. Both hips are grounded. Lengthen the spine and fold. So this is where, if you have like sweet little props like I do, you can bring a bolster under your knees. And for me, I know I could come here, and this is where I'm gonna go. Or maybe not. You could also not do any of that and just fold. And I thought I wanted the bolster, but I don't. But just find the forward bend that serves you and supports you. Heart of the earth, where is your awareness? You are your own little universe, right? And you are the center of your universe. However, we're a bunch of little universes hanging out with a bunch of other ones, and we have a more direct impact via the choices we make and the way that our electromagnetic field influences the fields of one another. So, in all honesty, to think that your values are better than somebody else's is the biggest fool of the ego ever. If we can really recognize that we're not separate, even though we tend to separate ourselves, because that is how we know ourselves. But if we can come to the truth and the essence of ourselves, that absolutely there are people out there making choices that I do not align with. And so my power is to come back to how am I choosing to engage? Am I barking more hate and distaste? Or can I be more aware of my own authority in the way that I show up in my life? Bow into it, breathe into it, whatever your forward bend is giving you. Exhale out completely, lengthen the spine, and then inhale, rise. As we rise, you're going to come lying down. I'm going to do a simple bolster under my knees, and I admitted this not too long ago. So if you're not always with me, then sorry. But I will be through the closure of the solstice, which we're really close to. Maybe I will come to you. I don't know. I'm just not supposed to tell you, but I'm leaving town. And it's my own personal journey. It's something I've created because all I want is the connection to all that brings me and joy. Why not? What else do you want, right? And that's such a privilege and that's such an opportunity. So I could sit in the land of not using my bolsters when they're right next to me, and you guys are probably like, how wouldn't she use those bolsters? She's got those nice bolsters. Okay, come lying all the way down. Maybe I should just sell the bolsters I have and finally let go of them. So if I do, I'll let you know, okay? If you don't have any, they're really amazing bolsters. I'm kind of attached to them though. But maybe I should just sell them. So here we are, come lying all the way down. If you have support underneath you, you don't probably need another forward bend. If you're watching this and you're like, I want a blanket, then just get up, pause the live, go get yourself one, and then come back and hit play. And sure, you'll be delayed, but what is time? If you're not doing what's good for you, you're not really doing much at all. For the essence of you, not for the ego of you. This is a big, I think I need to articulate on this a lot more. Not for the ego of you, not for the mental of you, the whole of you, your soul, your journey, your evolution. So sitting there wishing you had a blanket doesn't allow you to be in Shavasana. If you're on the earth, you probably want me to stop talking, so breathe into the back of your heart. Breathe into the heart of the earth. As you breathe into the back of your heart, with your next 5 breaths, receive the breath as if you're breathing into the core connection with the earth. Enjoy the breath in. Enjoy the breath out. Enjoy the sound of life that's around you. The hum of existence. The evidence of consciousness. And the feedback of all that you are. And how you be is so much more important than what you do. You can wiggle your toes and wiggle your fingers. You can even sway your head from side to side. Reawaken to this world. Stretch the arms long, legs long, whatever it is you need. And then we'll bend the knees and roll to one side. And slowly come up into the comfort of your seat. And as you find your seat, sit well. Sit comfortably with yourself. Sit in the energy of you. Sit in this connection to the core of your being, or the heart of the earth, the core of the heart, and that we're all pulsating with light, and that any moment we ever find ourselves in the extremes of anything, that we can come back to our center, grounded in our essence, and guided by that great light, however you define it. And remember sweetly of all that greatness and that glory and grace and love that surrounds you and is also within you. From my heart to all of yours, straight from my heart to yours. May you be well, may you know peace. May you breathe into your value, and may your light be of service to the world. Namaste. So however you practice, I had a conversation with somebody today, and I said, you know, my heart goes out to all the yoga studios. But we're all finally doing yoga. So if you drop in and hang out with me every so often, wonderful. And when you don't, it's beautiful, because that's a sign that you're really integrating this energy. Yes, we miss it. Yes, we miss like seeing each other, but there's also this sacredness that hopefully, you know, you don't have to drive home, and that's amazing. That you could be in your pajamas. You could go from Shavasana right into your bed. You can do it on your terms, in the timing that's aligned with your rhythm. And I'm going to be talking about this a lot, of how do we become more of ourselves by being true to ourselves. It's not exactly financially advantageous, let me tell you right now. However, yoga's never been financially advantageous, but it's brought forward an eternal resource, and that ability that you connect into this language of your inner world. You finally get to feel a deeper sense of this experience, and you can have a direct experience with that transformation of the buzz of life to then settling into the energy of your essence, of your soul, however you want to call it. So that's my hope. That's my dream. That's my prayer. That's my vision, however you want to say it. And like I said, it's hard for me. I had my review, and part of the other part that she said is like, you talk about yourself too much, and it's sweet, and it bothered her, which is great. That's fine. But the one thing that I know because of you guys is that hearing my story makes your story more real. And maybe it's because I'm curious and I want to know everybody's stories, but as soon as we look into the planets and we look into this journey and we look to this energy and how it's unfolding, our stories allow for the transformation. So in the readings, I'll encourage your story to know yourself, but hopefully by hearing some of my stories and how I've shared them is so that you can know your story more fully, that you can feel hugged and held by your own light. So, I thank you. I thank you so much. And do know, just be patient with me that these next 2 weeks are always interesting. I'm traveling and I got to take care of lots of different layers of being a householder. But I am committed to showing up, because when you all tell me how much it has helped, you restore kind of my energy as well. And it can be hard, especially at the end of the day after being home with 2 kids, to then come here. But, and every day is different, right? I think everybody knows that. Every day is different right now. So I am great. Oh, yeah, Denise, you're so welcome. So many blessings. If we can become the blessing, right? Wouldn't that be a beautiful theme for 2021? Like, to become the blessing, to really be the reflection of the privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, and that we can inspire that privilege for others to awaken to that gift, that we can live in harmony. And I know I'm totally, where's John Nolan? I'm totally in my like hippie train land, but that's to me what this season's all about. How do we restoke the flame of light, of connection, of feeling the great message of love? And so I'm going to sign out there. Peace, friends. Love you guys so much.